Not the music you were expecting? Know what you're getting into with your music and your internet. Straight Up Internet is $50 all in, no hidden fees. And like this music, you can even pause it. Straight Up Internet. Know what you're getting into.
Good morning, everybody. Jim Feist and Hank Goldberg here in Las Vegas. It's hot here in Vegas, about 110 degrees yesterday. And Hank, I don't know about you, but the picks have been pretty hot too.
Well, I did okay on the races on Saturday. I picked the winner of the Diana. Yesterday I didn't give a winner because it was not a very good race. Del Mar opens on Thursday. That'll be a big day. Or I guess Wednesday or Thursday. I'm not sure which. And no racing on Monday or Tuesday at either Del Mar or Saratoga. I spent the day with the heat doctor on Saturday at the Wynn. We had a wonderful afternoon. I had lunch with him and his wife. And I don't think they're going to go after that a deal with Oklahoma City. They're not interested in a 14-year backcourt player.
I can understand.
Anyway, but they're still on the lookout for another deal. And he had to go to his team's game, and if they had won Saturday, they would have stayed over for another day and played again yesterday, but they didn't win, so they lost by a point. So they went home on Saturday night, and they'll be an improved team this year somewhat. But anyway, that's a long way off. And then there's the final of that series will be today between Minnesota and
Phoenix
and Memphis.
Memphis, yeah. Hey, Hank, did you happen to watch the Wimbledon yesterday with that
It was
match?
tremendous. I watched the whole thing.
That was unbelievable.
Thought it was, two great players. I thought that I thought that the guy had it won. The 37-year-old man was going to win it. Had a chance. All he had to do was hold serve at the end there, and he had two chances to win, and he couldn't hold two services. And it was a shame after going, all that way to come up and lose on his own serve when he had been serving so well the whole day. And but you know what? I was watching his wife praying, and then I started to root against him. She's pathetic.
I didn't notice that part.
Well, they kept showing her after every point, and she had her head in her hands. I didn't know who I liked the least, her or Djokovic's father.
Well, that's another side of the sport, that's for sure. But it
was tremendous tennis. It really was, and it's amazing that those two guys in their 30s can continue to dominate their sport. Although, it was just a great match, and actually neither one of them was. They were both playing great, making incredible shot after shot. It's still a great sport to watch, and as long as those guys are around, it's going to be great.
Yeah, and tennis and golf betting has started to take off a lot, and even in-game betting for both sports has been taking off. So, those are two sports that have not been bet a lot over the years, especially during the matches. But now that's taking off as a big part of the game. And I think 65% of the bets in that match were made after it started. Which is,
I don't know, but I was just enthralled by the match, and I started watching it. I watched the whole thing. I couldn't turn it off. By the way, the guy I gave you for the British Open on Friday, Wiesbacher, he won the tournament on over the weekend in Scotland, the Scotch Open. He's a hell of a golfer. You will keep an eye on him.
Have you seen a price on him for the Open?
I haven't seen any of the prices yet.
I'll take a look today.
But he's he's not from Germany. He's from I forget where, but it's Wiesbacher is his name, and he's won 6 tournaments in Europe. And those courses, he can play those courses, and he had to go into overtime to win. That was another good event that was on yesterday.
Wow!
And they played about 5 extra holes. He beat a guy named Hebert.
There's a lot of good sports out there, and we got another good sports tipping off in a couple weeks. NFL, and we got college football. I got some over and under bets in college already. I'm doing some articles and podcasts on the NFL. And you got any thoughts, or you have any? Do you want to start doing some podcasts on some of these divisions in the NFL?
Well, yeah, sure. Football practice starts this week for the teams that are playing in the NFL opener on the 1st in Canton. I think Thursday practice starts, so there'll be plenty of information coming out. And I think we talked a little bit on Friday about the fact that Gordon is holding out in San Diego,
okay, that's the first. That's the first time you said San Diego this year.
No, Friday was the first. I've been talking San Diego. You're right.
We all do that. It's hard because they were there so long. It's hard to not say it.
Yeah, well, they're going to be really good this year, but they got to get him signed. He's their best all around back. That division. I think Denver's going to have problems with Flacco as long as we're talking that division. I don't like him at quarterback. I predicted that he won't be the starter by midseason. The rookie from Missouri, I think, will probably take over that job. But that'll be a 2-team race and a heck of a race between Kansas City and San Diego. That'll be an exciting race to watch.
Amen. They're 2 very good teams. We talked a little bit about Cleveland and Pittsburgh the other day, and I just say it. I think Pittsburgh is the right side, and I think you thought that you said it the other day that Cleveland was a little bit overhyped, and I agree with that. So I'm excited for both college and the NFL, and I don't get too excited for preseason, but a couple spots here and there you can pick up maybe 8 or 10 games throughout the whole preseason where there's real value in betting. Of course,
I don't bet any preseason football until the 3rd week.
Yeah, that's the rehearsal week. That's the one that makes most sense. That's. Well,
there are some coaches who like to win early, and I'll point that out as the games come up.
Right. Okay, in horse racing, I guess these racetracks are only, like you said the other day, they're only running 5 days a week in Saratoga.
Well, this is a big week at Monmouth, and I talked about that on Friday. Is the Haskell is Saturday. They'll know on Wednesday when they draw if they have 7 horses or 9 horses. They're trying to pick up a couple of more. And Maximum Security will be the big attraction there. And Baffert, who has won this race 7 times, is sending Mucho Gusto into the race. He has been improving lately. Actually, Baffert had a horse that ran at Los Al, one of his good 3-year-olds, who won by about 10 lengths and really looked good.
Wow.
And he'll be coming up, I guess, next in the Pacific Classic. So, you'll want to keep an eye on that. But that race doesn't come up until I know it's the 3rd weekend in August. So that's going to be a big race.
Right. Big matchup in baseball today. You got Snell going against Paxton in New York. Snell put it together a little bit the last two times out, and we know he's a hell of a pitcher, but he hasn't had the greatest amount of luck against the Yankees.
He hasn't pitched all that great lately either. He hasn't been winning that much. I'll tell you, last night's game, the Dodgers and the Red Sox, the Dodgers are so far ahead, and the announcer kept saying, "Oh, this is like a playoff game." It wasn't like a playoff game. It might have been a big game for the Red Sox, but the Dodgers didn't need it. Talking about overhyping. They kept saying, "Well, it's got all the tension of a playoff game." Well, they went extra innings, but the Dodger manager, he blew the game. Ryu had a tremendous game going. After the first inning, it was 3-2 after one inning, and then the Dodger pitcher just set the Red Sox down, and then at the end, he brings in a guy who gives up back-to-back home runs, and the game gets tied in the ninth inning. And he overmanages. He's changing pitchers all the time, and he wound up winning the game because they got the bases loaded. Finally, the Red Sox, the last pitcher for the Red Sox, because he had used up, the Dodgers had used up their closer in the 10th inning, and he had to go more than an inning, and he was running out of pitchers, and he got lucky. They got the bases loaded on some miscues by the Red Sox, and they scored 3 runs in the top of I think the 12th, and they won the game by 3. But, he made a mistake there, too. He's ahead by 3 runs, okay? And he's down to 2 pitchers. And he pinch hits for the pitcher. He's down by 3 runs. Let the pitcher hit and go, he had one good inning, leave him in there. Why would you want to pinch hit with a 3-run lead, after 11 innings? I don't understand that.
Well, Hank, there's a long list of people that criticize Roberts managing, and that's been going on for years. I agree with you. He does overmanage. There's no question. In the
postseason, it hurts him.
It sure does. It sure does. I mean, he's got arguably the best team in baseball, but with him managing it, you just never know what the hell you're going to get. Yeah.
Well, they keep winning because they're loaded.
They are. They are. They really are loaded. I'm not a big fan of Kenley Jensen, but they stick with him.
Oh well, I'll tell you something. The guy last night was terrific.
Well, they've stuck with him for a long time.
And two straight innings, he struck out guys in key situations.
Well, maybe they're right about him. Let's hope he holds up for them if they get to the World Series, which they should. But anything else that you want to talk about today?
I guess not. I'm going to watch that championship game, but they really did well in that NBA series here in town. They drew big crowds. They had some good games. We saw some good players, and I think everybody's picking on the old Duke guy who's still playing for Memphis, but he had a big game yesterday, and he's an easy target because of his temperament.
Yeah.
But there was an interesting debate with the announcers. They were talking about this morning on one of the shows about how 2 announcers on ESPN, the guy from Miami was saying that the Heat coach was one of the top 3 coaches in the league. I think that's a stretch. And the guy from Indiana, who I enjoy, he was talking about the coach from Indiana being a better coach than him. But I don't know about him being among the 3 top coaches right now. He won his 2 championships with Riley looking over his shoulder when he was. And Spoelstra does a good job, and he did a good job with those 3 top players, and they won a couple of championships. And then, the top player in the league leaves, and they stopped winning championships. Well, you can't blame him for that.
No, you can't.
But
it's a
But
start.
Postma does a good job with what he has. But is he among the top three? I'm not so sure about that. He's a very good coach, and he's kept his job, and he's not going anywhere.
Yeah, I think he's pretty solid. I don't try to rate people because they're not all coaching the same quality of players, the same people. It's apples and oranges. But I think he's a very solid coach, and he's done a good job.
Yep.
Hank, I want to thank you for today. Thank you very much, and we will talk again soon.
On Wednesday I'll have my British Open picks, but I'll tell you, I think the defending champ is going to be ready for this. Although he had to break up his week last week in his preparation to go to the ESPYs, that bothered me a little bit. He's gotten to be a little bit showbiz all of a sudden. Kepka I'm talking about. And I love his girlfriend. She's gorgeous. He should keep her. But anyway, I think he'll be on top of his game. But I don't know. I think there's 2 or 3 guys I'm closing in on.
Yeah, we talk about that on Wednesday because I've been doing some work on that as well. So Hank, have a great day today. Thank you very much, and everybody go to jimfeist.com for Hank's plays and mine and great podcasts and articles. Thanks, Hank. Appreciate it.
Okay, you too.
Bye-bye.
Here it comes again. Lunch. Will it be the same old, same old? Or are you ready to take a vacation from the ordinary with the new Jamaican Jerk Turkey Sub at Firehouse Subs? Freshly sliced smoked turkey breast, craveably sweet mustard sauce, and a hint of Caribbean seasoning. Just $5.55 for a medium. Save time. Order the new Jamaican Jerk Turkey Sub on the Firehouse Subs app. Firehouse Subs. Enjoy more subs. Save more lives. Participating locations. Limited time only, plus tax. Prices may vary for delivery. Here it comes again. Lunch. Will it be the same old, same old? Or are you ready to take a vacation from the ordinary with the new Jamaican Jerk Turkey Sub at Firehouse Subs? Freshly sliced smoked turkey breast, craveably sweet mustard sauce, and a hint of Caribbean seasoning. Just $5.55 for a medium. Save time. Order the new Jamaican Jerk Turkey Sub on the Firehouse Subs app. Firehouse Subs. Enjoy more subs. Save more lives. Participating locations. Limited time only, plus tax. Prices may vary for delivery.